You need hands to get your message across. Do you really? What's with the hands and the voice?
Nigel.cecil, calling things out.
Hello Chuckabutties, welcome, thank you for joining me, moi, Nigel.cecil. I can see, can't we, Hillary? Yes, together we're going to get cancelled for this particular topic. But as usual, we are responding to the comments, views, observations and questions sent in by our fair-minded and equitable friends, many of whom are engaged in showbiz, and also, a few of them, members of Equity. Equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom. But this particular topic, we're digressing a little bit because it's sort of media communication. And those who've watched my videos before will know that I always say, when it comes to communication, music is the universal language. So apply that to politics in particular, because you look at politicians now and you say, do we believe them? Do we believe what they are saying? Well, of course, they've been told you mustn't do this, you mustn't use your hands, you must use your voice and project. But if you think about music and how pop stars communicate, you think, it's the voice. It's the voice that matters. This is why, when you look at an artist on stage, we all know there are some who are brilliant on stage in the clubs, but take them into the studio and the magic doesn't translate. Equally, there are those who are brilliant in the studio, but put them on the stage. Well, you think, we're not seeing the spark. And it's the voice. It's the singer, not the song. It's that emotion that comes through. When you've got that emotion, well, you don't need the body language. Winston Churchill didn't wave their hands, but we digress because we've been asked to comment about Donald Trump. Council time, you've mentioned that terrible name, and then Nigel Farage, Keir Starmer, and Kemi Badenoch. A few videos ago, a couple of months back, we were analysing the Conservative Party leadership contest, and we actually noticed about the hands. The hands, indeed, have a look at these secret tapings of the hands as these Conservative Party candidates for the leadership made their pitch at a hustings meeting.
There were not many 16-year-old Conservatives in Wolverhampton. I mean, there aren't so many anywhere in the country right now. But the party has been my family ever since. And make it clear to the public that this is emblematic of what this Labour Party is all about. Bad trade-offs, unfair decisions, putting the interests of the Labour Party above working people and pensioners in our country.
We've got to commit to 3% of GDP on defence. We've got to be taken seriously on the world stage, because if the risks that I know are waiting just over the horizon, if those risks are crystallised and come to pass, no other policy of any sort makes a blind bit of difference.
I want my children to grow up having something special. I want them to grow up in a country that believes in itself, that can defend itself. And it matters, family matters to me, and the Conservative Party is my family. I know other people have been saying that, but in my case it is literally true. I married my deputy chairman. Party is my family. Without the Conservative Party.
Against other political leaders, for the reason that people know very clearly, I have spent 25 years serving our great country, and I will serve it as long as you'll have me. And I will offer the leadership that we need to get back into that job that is so important. Conservative policies serving a conservative nation.
Chuckabutties, did you notice the hands? The hands. And looking at those videos, setting aside their policies, we were able to predict, putting names in an envelope, who the final two would be, and eventually who would win, just by looking at the hands and the body language. Because if you have a conviction, a belief, it's there in your voice. So let's just have a look at Trump, Starmer, Kemi and Nigel. Trump, you say, here's another little thing we can learn from showbiz. When someone comes along to promote a record, yes, a record like this, Hillary, they never say, do you like the record? Because once you've made a commitment, it doesn't matter if it gets to number one. If you say, well, we didn't like it, that's the end of it. We didn't like it. You'll never admit that, well, we got it wrong. No, I just don't like that tune. All those people like Brexiteers, the majority will never admit they made the wrong decision. Remainers, they never admit they've made the wrong decision. So if you decide you don't like a politician, you never get past first base. Donald Trump, oh, no, we're not going to listen to what they're saying. It's Donald Trump, Nigel Farage, Keir Starmer, Kemi Badenoch. Why? Once you've decided you don't like someone. So when it comes to the hands, we mentioned to someone, Donald Trump, it's easier to be a star when you are a star, because that belief is there in your voice. Now, let's have a look at Donald Trump, because everyone will say, no, they're doing this all the time. But when you get into the message, the hands are still. What about Kemi Badenoch? Well, in that view with the hustings, the hands were less involved than others. And more recently, they've been keeping their hands still. As someone said, keep your hands still, because you don't vote for Neil Kinnock all those years ago when they're doing this, and pop stars in a studio don't move their hands about because it's the voice. And then when we look at Nigel used to move their hands more, but then now they've more relaxed. Is that because they've got the confidence of the numbers? So they now are actually believing that they will be a success. Because once you have that belief inside of you, you don't need the hands. Kemi Badenoch, in the latest videos, has started to use her hands less. But Keir Starmer also has started to use his hands less. Now, is that because someone has said, lessons from Neil Kinnock and such people, stop waving your hands? But of course, if you're told to stop waving your hands and you haven't got the belief in your voice, then, as someone would say, Keir Starmer looks like a mannequin. They are wooden. We're not feeling the expression. So the golden rule is, it is the voice, but you have to have a belief. And do the political parties now really know what their belief is, what their core principles are? Can they sum them up in a few words? Donald Trump, live, without any prompting, used 3 words. We'll discuss that later in another video, shall we, Hillary? But now just remember, when you see the politicians, all the hand actions is detracting away from the core message. Have they got that belief in their soul? Soul music. Feel the belief. It's the singer, not the song. It's not the hands, it's the voice. Has your politician, the one that you believe in, got the voice? With that thought, please join us again and hit the subscribe button, and maybe get in touch with this email address, because we'll reflect your views on your behalf so you may avoid any cancel culture that pervades within showbiz. Thank you. Please hit the subscribe button and join us again, because together every viewer helps. Thank you.